Aloha, it's Katie, and when I first returned home after Cornell canceled in-person classes, I did what most students did, coded a website. Okay, no, for real, I binged Netflix, started a TikTok, and I really did make a website though. I just felt really helpless after seeing the news about Italy, China, New York, and of course, my country, the Philippines. I tried looking up emergency relief funds that I could donate to support COVID-19 efforts, and I came across a problem where I couldn't find any, and it just made me realize that there are so many people right now who are probably stuck in their rooms as well, with no way of trying to help people in the front lines. I used what I had learned from product design, web development, and entrepreneurship to build this product. I used my YouTube channel to create a video and officially launch it, and also recruit more developers and designers to help me because God knows I have a very short attention span and I could not continue it on my own. Today, we're a team of 7 people, and over the last 3 weeks, we've been building new features, and we've gotten over 4,000 hits across 60 different countries. Now, even though all this happened serendipitously, it made me realize there is a very simple formula that anybody can start to kick off a meaningful side project. A side project or a side hustle is just anything that you pursue outside your typical responsibilities as a student, worker, family member, and it can be anything. It could be an app, a business, podcast, blog, YouTube channel, nonprofit organization. For today, we're going to start small. I'm going to show you how I started my latest side project. This leads us to the first part. Starting, which honestly is my biggest problem. I always have a lot of random ideas, but I always cram, I push it aside, and I never get to it and just feel like a lazy sack of insert vegetable here. But here's the breakthrough I had this week that helped me overcome this obstacle. I just had to break it down into smaller tasks. Ideas tend to live in my head because I just imagine, oh, what would it be like if I did this, you know, and eventually I just get caught up in my own fantasy world. But I really trick myself into believing that I've made progress in my head, but really I've done jack. The key for me to getting past this is to break down what seems like an insurmountable feat in my head and just breaking it into chunks. And how you get started is an MVP. And I don't mean the award I never got in high school varsity volleyball or badminton. I mean a minimum viable product. It's just the simplest version of your product that you want to build with only the most essential or core features. So take the website I started, donatecovid19.org. Literally the only thing I need to make that website work is donation links. That's it. The main objective is to redirect people to find donation links in their country or whatever community they want to support, and they can just click it and boom, the website would have done its job. So first thing, design. I took to Figma to create some web mockups of what I wanted the website to look like. Second, I built the website. I used HTML and CSS for the programming languages and VS Code as my editor. By the way guys, don't be afraid if you don't know how to code. There are plenty of alternatives like Wix, Squarespace, and Webflow. I then published it on GitHub, which is a software development platform that allows collaboration between teams. I set up the Google Analytics so I can track website traffic, and then I bought a domain on Namecheap for $12. I really could not believe my luck when I got donatecovid19.org. I think that's why I was super excited to start this website, is because I got the domain and it was a sign that I was meant for it. I did all this in about 24 hours, and as you can guess, I was tired, I was bored, I didn't want to continue anymore. I forced myself to upload a YouTube video about it and launch it to viewers, but also find people who could help me continue this. Every day, I honestly wonder how I was able to continue this YouTube channel and make 300 videos when normally I can barely last 3 weeks on something. And it is because of you guys. I don't think you realize how much your comments really motivate me and inspire me. Basically, I knew if I wanted to stay this project, I needed to involve people in this. Whether it's people that could benefit from this website or people who will help me develop it. Finding a team. And please trust me on this one, or Ray Dalio in his book Principles. But you have to define the role you want before you find people for it. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I started the student organization at Cornell is I just let anyone who wanted to join at the start join because they were passionate about it. And don't get me wrong, I think it's wonderful and I don't regret any of it because we had such a bomb time. But there were so many mistakes we could have avoided if we had clearly outlined what each person's responsibilities were, because towards the end we were just clashing, people didn't know what they were doing. Like, to say the least, it was not productive or efficient and it was taking up a lot of brain space. So for this project, I made it really clear what help I needed. And that's number 1, UI or UX designers. 2, front-end developers. 3, backend developers. Introducing all these positions eventually led to needing a product manager. That just became me. This team structure, by the way, is a very common starting point for software development teams. I personally call it a MVT, or minimum viable team, if you will. It's really the smallest number of people you need on your team to create that MVP, or minimum viable product. Here we are, reinforcement learning. I am really out here reviewing. So how do you choose your people? I'm only a college student, not a full-time recruiter. I personally do not think I'm qualified to be ripping apart someone's resume, and neither should I. Treat them like a normal person. Don't get on your high horse. I will tell you the 3 things I personally look for, and that's number 1, experience. So when people emailed me about the website saying they wanted to join, I asked if they had any portfolio or past projects. Second was initiative, and I mean, the fact that these people reached out to me was already a great sign. Side projects are super self-driven. Motivation and discipline is so crucial to having it succeed. The last thing is just open-mindedness and a willingness to learn. I came into this project and I did not know many things. That's what I think is so unique to us students, is that we do these side projects so we can learn. And when you have a team, you learn from each other, and you really realize that learning goes beyond the classroom. And I have found that I learn the best when I'm doing something hands-on and self-driven like this, because I actually feel like I have a big role in this. You know, unlike classes, you cannot show up to class and teachers won't notice you. I've noticed nowadays that side projects or personal projects are very common to include in your resume or your portfolio, because it does show personal initiative, and this fits perfectly into that if you're looking for a professional boost. I bring this up because I know a lot of internships are being canceled or they're going remote this summer, and you know what? It actually levels the playing field in that everyone is just online. Okay, now you have the team. How do you actually get everybody on board and get stuff done? First thing we did is create a group chat for communication. We use Slack, and we organize our workspace into different channels: design, website, mobile, backend, resources, and ideas. This was on top of the general and random channel, which every Slack workspace comes with. Next, we had Zoom calls. We actually had weekly syncs where we met everybody, and it was really cool because we were all college students except one who was in high school, and we came from different universities and countries. And I was really nervous about this at first because, like, you put 7 strangers in a room, what could go wrong? A lot. But we literally vibed since the first day. So how do you lead the meetings? This is the typical meeting structure I follow, but we start off with everybody giving a stand-up. So what did you do? Do you need help with anything? Are you facing any blocks? And what do you plan to do next? Second is we go over the agenda, which the PM normally plans. So hey, that's me. And then we also give feedback. For example, for our agenda, our team may discuss new features, like the filter panel I was talking about, which we are getting to right now, to sort by cause. In terms of feedback, designers will show the designs they worked on and then get feedback on what else they can try or what they should edit. And then developers will discuss new technologies. So at the start, I had also just been hard coding data, which is not efficient at all. Like, I would manually write out each donation link, but now we actually have a backend, so a database that just stores all this information, and we run an algorithm that just fetches all the data from the backend. We use Firebase, by the way. And lastly, we finish out with a breakup room. So developers and designers will split up and will help each other address any of the blocks we mentioned earlier, but also assign action items for next steps. And this is usually led by the PMs, which would have been me, but we introduced sub PMs for each team. So there's a PM, but now there's also a developer PM and design PM. Last part is task management. We use Trello. It's just a board to help everyone keep track of the to-dos and projects progress. We also made a Google Drive so we could keep track of meeting notes, forms, and any spreadsheets that we had used. Now, what you just heard me explain is actually a very common approach to startups nowadays. It's called the Agile software development process. Now, the first time I heard Agile was from one of the developers, and I was like, is this the name of a big tech company? Because I literally looked up Agile and I could not find anything. Turns out I had to look up Agile software development process. It's often used by lean startups, which are different from conventional businesses or startups in that their mentality is you fail fast and you fail forward by having lots of iterations. So instead of spending 1 year on this project that you think is going to be amazing and then launch it to users only to realize that it is useless, you start with that MVP. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, you just ship it or deliver it to people. And from there, you interview users, you test them on what they think about it, what could be improved, and then you use all that information to repeat this development cycle of building this new feature by designing, developing, and then testing again, so that every step of the way you're confident that your product is meeting the expectations of the ultimate user. And that's it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Share it with your friends, especially if you're motivated now to start the side project. Treat for you if you watch to the end. you can actually check my description box, and I wrote a Medium article summarizing all of these key points. I'm so excited but also nervous because this is something I've been studying and working on at Cornell with my classes and extracurriculars, but it's the first time I'm actually telling you about it and sharing this formula that I just came up with. Tag me on Instagram telling me what you think and share what cool project you're working on, because I may just feature it and help you promote it. Please also comment any of your own tips, especially if this is something you have experience in or are also curious about. I claim no expertise or profession on this, but I do come to you as a student who wants to share all of this because I trust that you all also want to learn and help each other succeed. That's quite a big assumption to make, isn't it? But I really like to think the best of you guys. You've been such a supportive community ever since I was 13. It's actually almost my 6-year YouTube anniversary. Oh gosh, I never want to say anniversary because I ain't doing anything anniversary related anytime soon. While you're down there in the description box, check out my social media links. Let's keep in touch. I would love to learn more about your own initiatives, or if you need any help kicking them off, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. My Instagram is AlohaKatieX, and we're going to be making magic these next 3 months. I wish you the best, take care, and let's get creative. Bye guys. That was a fail. Okay. Bye guys. Sorry, it's like this. Okay. I'm so lame.